Well, anglers, let me tell y'all, there's all different styles and profiles and different things that you can do to catch fish during early spring and fall patterns. But let me tell you, there's nothing more fun than using a Brown's, Corky, Fatboy. The redfish and speckled trout love these things. And I'll tell you, there's been so many 10-pound plus speckled trout caught in Texas, and these are just catching on in our area along the Gulf Coast here in the northern end. And man, let me tell you, these baits are phenomenal. Look at this nice redfish. First cast with this thing. Oh, here he comes. Oh, and he ate it. This is awesome. Now, a lot of people are gonna ask, you know, like, what is a Brown's bait and what's a Corky? It's a new style bait, but what's really awesome is you're probably used to seeing suspending baits that are actually made out of hard plastic. Well, this bait looks like a hard, I gotta watch out for them hooks. It looks like a hard plastic, but it's actually soft. And that is what's the real uniqueness of this bait, is that it's actually soft plastic molded into a profile like a pogie or a mullet, and this thing is just unbelievable on these fish. I mean, first cast, I'm so excited. I mean, I love fishing these things. If you've read any of my articles or you've done any of my seminars, you know this bait right here, the Fatboy, is just on fire for me. And look at this redfish. He fell right for it on the first cast. Man, there is nothing better than that. We're gonna go over this concept and technique today. Awesome. Oh, there he is. Oh. Now I'll tell you, these suspending baits, these Corkies, it's the Fatboy style. Let me tell you, what you want to do is you want to take that bait, and like I'm doing today, I'm throwing it right along the bank, kind of paralleling, and then what I'm doing is I've got that thing just twitching through that grass, really slow and really light. And if you look at this fish, look at all the grass that he's still got on the hooks, because he's so deep in the grass. And I'm just paralleling this bank, throwing down and catching these fish like this. Beautiful fish, a lot of spots. He's gonna be a tough one to get off of here. But I wanna hurry up and get him back in the water. Now, you might see a little bit of blood here, but I'll tell you, all it is he's hooked right here on the bottom of the mouth. If you ever have a fish like this and you're doing release, you know, catch and release, you wanna make sure you catch them, get them right back in the water, that blood will coagulate, and this fish will be perfect for y'all to catch. Here he goes. Let's get him in. All right, big boy. Ho, 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 right there. Oh, speckled trout. Now, this bait works for all species, even flounder. I've never caught a drum on it, but I'm sure you probably can. Oh yeah, look at that, he got fouled up a little bit. That's all right. Oh man, look at that. I had him lassoed practically. That's pretty cool. But that Fatboy, the shape and the style of this thing looks just like a pogie. And these fish really love to get on it and eat it really good. But look at the size of that bait to that fish. So if we're looking to catch a 10-pounder, we might have to get one that's probably like the size of, I don't know, like a baby's toy. I'm gonna throw him back. Nice one. All right, let's get another one. Oh, there he is. Oh, another speckled trout. Now, these baits, what they're mimicking is, they're mimicking a wounded bait fish is what they're doing. And this thing falls, unlike a lot of the baits that are out there that are suspending. You can walk the dog with this one, and what you can do is, when you pause it, the bait falls backwards. Instead of head first, it falls tails first. And what that does is that just gets their instinct going, and these fish just want to let it, you know, they just won't let it go. Beautiful speckled trout, look at that. Barely hooked. I'm gonna bring him in slow. Oh, he come off. Son of a gun. I saw him barely hooked. And you know, when you got a lot of these fish, when you're fishing them on these baits like this, these treble hooks, they sometimes come out easy, just like that fish. You need to net them. I'm out here by myself today, so I can't really net them. But that was good, about 2.5, 3 pound trout. And they eat these baits, they love them, and we're gonna get another one. All right, there he is. Good one. This bait just works so well with it. It's a nice redfish, man. Really nice. And they just love eating these things. This just shows a spunky, really good fish. He was pulling, dragging everything like crazy. Man, that is just plain awesome. Look at that. This fish right, I mean, he's not bad. I mean, he's 24 inches, but he felt like he was 24 pounds for a while. Man, look at that. On that bait, right there, the Fatboy by Brown's Lures. You gotta try them. I'm telling you right now, this is what some of the biggest fish, speckled trout and redfish, come off of in most of the states along the Gulf Coast. Yeah, and that's a really nice fish right there on the Fatboy. Awesome.